Good morning, friends, and welcome. Let's start our class today with a prayer together. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, great masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswarji, beloved Guru Deva, Paramahansa Yoganandaji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. Bless our lives that we may be ever more attuned to thy vibrations, thy uplifting consciousness, thy creativity, thy initiative. Help us to be in tune ever with thee. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So we'll hear now a song by Swami Kriyanandaji, and then we'll see a video clip of Swamiji that's about 5 minutes long. God bless you all. Welcome again.
Dare to be different, dare to be free, dare to roam far like wind on the sea, fly like a gull, soar high on the air, be strong in your courage when others despair. Never in anger, never in haste, go without pride, be never abased. Freedom is yours, if freedom you'll give, to all give it freely, in freedom you'll live. Mountains that stand up tall to the sky, tell us no dreaming is ever too high. Dare to defy them, brave that high peak, you'll never know failure if bravely you seek. Dare to be different, dare to be free, dare to roam far like wind on the sea, fly like a gull, soar high on the air, be strong in your courage when others despair. I've been creative all my life. I think for one thing, it's not taking the tried and true path. Look for new ways to do things. Put energy into what you're doing. Don't just do anything by rote. I mentioned in my last discussion the importance of magnetism. And I said that magnetism it's really like electricity going through a wire, which generates a magnetic field. So when you send out a strong thought, the stronger the will, the greater the flow of energy. The greater the flow of energy, the greater the magnetism. And so when you want to do something, it's very important, first of all, to say, yes, I can do it. Not, oh, it's impossible, I can't do it. People of weak willpower, people who have no energy, sort of catching flies like this, they never accomplish anything. People of strong will can rise from the very depths. So creativity means always looking for new ways of doing things. It doesn't mean, and I don't believe in just doing things differently to be different. I know I wanted to be, when I was young, I wanted to be a playwright. But my desire was to help people to understand truth. And it dawned on me finally that I didn't know the truth. Then I thought, then why should I flood the world with my ignorance? And I gave up writing. And I didn't begin it again until I began to know what life really is all about. I think that that was a valid choice. I could have come up with all sorts of nice little stories, but I think that having the power of conviction behind what I did gave my creativity much more power. So in thinking, again, for example, I've written music. I've written over 400 pieces of music, songs, instrumental, etc. And I've found that if I think, how do I want the melody to go, it won't go well. But if I say, God, you tell me what melody it is, then it will come. But it won't come if I just sit back there and wait for it to come. First of all, I have to cooperate. So creativity means, in a sense, cooperating with grace. I want to write a song, let's say, on Pompeii. I wrote a song on that, a melody. And I visualized Pompeii as a decadent civilization which attracted that great disaster of Mount Vesuvius. That was its karma. But then after all, that karma has been mitigated over 2,000 years. So not just the bad karma, but understanding. And I had several things in mind. And I said, I want this song to say this, 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 and this. Give it to me. And the next thing is, the answer is this. You have to go with it. You can't wait for it to come to you. Many times in speaking, I haven't known what to say, but I've launched into it, and then what I have to say is given. One time, because my guru had told me, let God speak through you. I thought on a Sunday morning once, I thought, well, let me just sit back and let him talk. So in the middle of a sermon, there was 100 people in front of me. I suddenly decided to stop talking and let God talk through me. 2 minutes I stood there, perfectly comfortable. People were sweating, thinking, he's frozen. But I hadn't frozen, I was just waiting. I finally understood what Yogananda said. I will reason, I will act, but guide thou my reason, will, and activity to the right path in everything. And so we have to do it, but we have to ask God to guide our actions, guide our efforts, guide our understanding. So it's we in cooperation with the universe. You can't create anything. You can only manifest. God couldn't create the universe. He could only manifest it. He could have those thoughts that would bring about this appearance of rocks and flowers and grass and earth and so on, people. But everything is his dream.
Good morning again, friends, and welcome. I'd like to start actually with the brief poem by Master, The Noble New. Sing songs that none have sung, think thoughts that in brain have never rung, walk in paths that none have trod, weep tears as none have shed for God. Love all with love that none have felt, and brave the battle of life with strength unchained. Give peace to all to whom none other gave. Claim him your own, who e'er disclaimed, by Master. And Swamiji, one last brief quote. Some people serve Master through their meditations. What I have to offer is my creativity. Master often praised me for the creative way I served him. When I was living with Master, he asked me to use my evenings to write magazine articles. That will interfere with my meditation time, I said. Master responded, living for God is martyrdom. So what a great topic this is, because I think some people feel the path is just meditation and let Guruji do everything. I don't have to do anything but try to meditate. And you don't have to use any initiative, any creativity, any thought, any high thoughts, any inspiration, any insights, and people go a lot with, oh, it's too difficult. Oh, I don't feel like it. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, the book of excuses, as I like to think of, because you can make excuses for just about everything. But really, a big part of the path is to be creative, is to use initiative. You have to be creative to do anything in life. And I'll go into that more in a moment. But first, you have to be creative, and then the initiative, you have to use initiative to actually get it done. So it's not enough to just, even you can create in your mind, oh, wouldn't this be beautiful? This temple would be lovely, or a new center would be wonderful. And it goes on. But then it takes the initiative to really go through the often painstaking things that you have to do to manifest it. And now what's happening? God is manifesting through us. He's giving the thoughts. Divine Mother's giving us the thoughts. Master, the gurus are giving us the thoughts of what to do if we're in tune with them. But then they need our hands and our feet and our creativity to be able to follow through and manifest those things. And so it's an essential part of the path. It's not it's not for somebody who just paints or plays music. It's for everybody. And Swamiji was the most creative person that I ever met. He was creative in everything. He was creative. He always was thinking how to do things new, how to do it better. How can I make this more beautiful? How can this song be more uplifting? He was always thinking outside of the box, not we've done this before, let's do the same thing again. And that's what a lot of people think. But he was always thinking new ideas, fresh, alive, energetic, in tune with Master. What else can we do? How can we make it more fun for people even? And also, what else can I do to serve my guru? How can I serve Master more? How can I please him? How can I make things in a way that he would want? How can I attune more to the guru? And Swamiji said this interesting thing. He said, you can work with ego if you choose, but that's not what we're talking about here, using my ego to create things that I want. I like this. I want to paint this way. I want to play this music this way. I want to do this. He said, you can do a whole lot more with God. Isn't that a beautiful statement? You can create a whole lot more if you're an open channel for the ideas, for the inspiration to flow, for how to do it, for who to talk to, when to talk to them, how to make it happen, if you open yourself. So what we're really talking about is opening the channel for God's power and creativity to flow through you, his energy and magnetism to draw to you what is needed. This is a huge part. I mean, how can you draw God to you in meditation if you're not really open and receptive and magnetic and uplifted and desirous of it and wanting it to happen? And look at Swamiji's life. He had 400 pieces of music, as he said, all types, any type you can imagine. He wrote chants, he wrote music for all different countries, Italian and Japanese, and of course, US, and everything you can imagine. He wrote Shakespeare, he had Shakespearean words and wrote music to that. He was always thinking, what else? What else? What else? How can I expand on this? And then he was creative with his writing. He wrote on just about every topic you can imagine. He wrote on leadership and prosperity and relationships and health and healing and the scriptures and on and on and on. He didn't write just one type of in one way, and he wrote 150 books. That's a lot of inspiration coming through a person. He's our example and model. And not that we can write 150 books, but he's saying, be creative, be open, be inspired, serve Master in a way, be a good example for others of what the path is really about. It's not just meditating. And another one, Swamiji was creative and creating beautiful places. Ananda Village is heaven on earth, really. And even the heart of Ananda Village is the Crystal Hermitage. Some of you have been there. It's just beautiful. Even the name is beautiful. It could have been Swamiji's home or something like that, or the community home. But he said, what is the name? I was with him when he came up with that name. We were on a ship coming from, we were in Italy and traveling on the water. And he was inspired. Then he said, let's come up with a name. And then people had different names. And then we came up with the Crystal Hermitage. How beautiful. And it has beautiful furnishings, beautiful paintings, beautiful carpets, beautiful gardens. He was inspired to create a place where Divine Mother, where the Devas, where the masters would come and could enjoy, and where we all could go and enjoy as well. Even the name of the our retreat facility there, it could have been Ananda Retreat. But no, he said, let's come up with a wonderful name, the Expanding Light. And isn't that beautiful? I remember that when that name came up, the Expanding Light. He was creative with the name. Even his homes here in India, he didn't want it to be called Swamiji's house. Guru Kripa, many of you were there. Guru Prim. I mean, there's so many ways you can be creative. And then he was creative with the communities and centers all around the world, just from Master's seat up. But Master said, I'm putting this in the ether. Youth must go north, south, east, west. And he said, my words are registered in the ether. Swamiji picked that up. And from the thought of Master, he created communities, 8 communities around the world, centers, meditation groups. I mean, he was amazing in that way. But it was all what Master wanted, what Divine Mother wanted. And then he spoke 8 languages. He painted. I mean, he did just about everything. Why? He wanted to show us, use God's energy, creativity, inspiration in everything that you do. And so for us, after we meditate and attune with Master and Divine Mother, we can use creativity in our work, whatever we're doing, in our creating a beautiful home and creating a beautiful altar and painting and decorating. And I know Swamiji would thank people who just dressed well. He said, you look so beautiful. What a beautiful shirt. What a beautiful dress. Even on the street, people that he didn't know, he would say, that looks so beautiful. Because the person was in attunement with a high energy and in dress and whatever it was. And so everything that you do, even with, I was thinking it should be uplifting to other people. So when you read Swamiji's books, you feel uplifted. You listen to music, it's uplifting. You look at Jyotishji's paintings, they're uplifting. Shamani's, Dana's, different artists there are in Ananda. Typically, they're very uplifting if the person meditates. And so even cooking, my good friend Anil, he makes best German chocolate cake and the best carrot cupcakes. Why? And you feel the vibration of joy, of love, because he's in attunement. He's created such, just from Divine Mother's love, something so good to eat. And so even in the cooking. So what do we do? What should we do? First of all, think of how can you do whatever you're doing better, with more creativity, more joyful. Make it more fun. If it's a class, if it's a yoga class, I mean, you can only do so much, but at least you can smile. I mean, people have told me, I like to come to your class because you actually smile. I said, hello, do people not smile at classes? But just something that just is different, that's inspiring, that helps others. The next thing to do is tune into God's will. Master said to, when you're being creative, don't just do anything. I want to do it. This is what my creativity. I remember a man at Ananda Village, he said to Swamiji, I just have to write my own music. You know how I feel. I just have to write my own. Swamiji said, if I never write another piece in my life, I wouldn't care. And he says, not my music anyway. Everything he did, he said, it's not mine. It's come from God and Guru. But Master said, look at the spiritual eye and put your thought out. Whatever it is, I need to figure this out. I need a piece of music. I need to, whatever it is, and put it out in the ether strongly with a strong mind. And then feel in your heart the answer. And then afterwards, take the first step. Don't just sit back and, oh God, it'll never happen. I can't do it because this and because that. I just get so tired of hearing that. But just feel in your heart, okay, Master, at least he's guiding me. I have to open myself. Then take the first step. Take the second step, take the third step. The point is, most people don't take any steps, but just start moving and let the creative energy flow. Let the ideas, the answers, the solutions. I was facing a difficulty just last night and today, where I lost 100 pieces of my audio music that I've been playing the Esraj, and I was recording. I sent some recordings out to people, and I lost all of that on my phone. And a friend helped me to look all everywhere we could look, but then we just never found it. And it was a sad moment. I spent months and months on that music. So then I just kept praying to Master. I would like to have it. If you want to give it back, if you don't want to give it back, it's okay. And then this morning in meditation, the answer came. Didn't you send that out to some friends? Just go on your WhatsApp. Go on your friend's WhatsApp. Maybe they still have it there. I found 100 pieces of music from just tuning in to Master. I could have said, oh, it's gone, it's lost and forever. But I just kept trying. There's gotta be an answer. And that's the way it has to be. There's gotta be a way. Last couple of things I said already, but I'll say again, avoid the no saying principle. It just shuts the door. God can't help you. There's no answers when the door is shut. Just say, there's got to be a way. Say, I can, I will. And in one way or another, the divine will come around and show you and open a door, even if it's another door that you didn't plan on. I remember once we had written this Kriya booklet, Jayaji and I. He wrote it and I did the cover. And we did 8 of those. The ones we're using now. So anyway, I remember I sent it to Swamiji, and one of the acharyas there said, he was in Italy at the time, that Swamiji doesn't like the cover. And I thought, what's wrong with the cover? I mean, the cover is just a person meditating. It's the book that counts. And I went on and on. These things you have to learn. And I wrote to Swamiji a long email of all the reasons why I couldn't change the cover. Well, he didn't write back because he didn't want to hear my excuses. And it was like a week, 2 weeks, and I was feeling more and more out of tune. So finally, I wrote Swamiji back, and I said, we're happy because we had put the covers on 2,000 of those books. I said, we're so happy to take those covers off. We'll put another cover on. Swamiji, what cover would you suggest would go on the book that would be more appropriate? He wrote back in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You have to learn these things, 5 minutes. Instead of, I can't. In a meeting about Ananda going into Australia, which now we have a wonderful group in Australia. I was there with Swamiji. I was one of the only people who had ever been to Australia besides him. And he says, I had just come back, and he says, well, should we do a work in Australia? Should we not do a work? And I had a long list of why we shouldn't go to Australia. He asked me first, and I said all these things. He just went, next, because he didn't want to hear it. There's a creative flow that happens. Maybe it won't happen, but don't shut the door when the creative flow is trying to happen. Finally, attune to God's grace, cooperate with grace, as Swamiji said, and just put your hand in his and let the energy, the magnetism, the joy, the upliftment, just let it flow, even if nothing ever happens. Finally, I remember Swamiji said in one of his talks, he was talking to a group of early on Ananda people, and he said, remember we were talking about creating I think it was the retreat facility. He said, we had so many great ideas. Maybe none of them would ever happen, but we were so happy with those ideas. And that's the thing to remember. Remember Master's words here. I'll read, the greater the will, the greater the flow of energy, the greater the magnetism, and the greater the inspiration. And also, I will reason, I will, but guide thou my reason, my will, and my activity to the right path in every action. In that way, we're creative, we're cooperating with grace, and we manifest what Divine Mother and our masters want in our lives and in their work that we're with now with Ananda. God bless you all. And I'll ask Nitendra to join me on the screen now. We have a couple of questions.
Yes, Dhyanaji, thank you so much. The first question, Dhyanaji, is how should I balance the creativity that comes through the gurus, but still I put my own effort as well?
Why not? It's my own but God-given power, my own but God-given ideas, my own but God-given inspiration, my own but God-given upliftment, my own but God-given. How about that? No? So you can't be out of the picture, but you can't be too much in the picture. We have to be both. And I think the example is Swamiji. No, just keep thinking how he lived, what he did, how much he accomplished, one person. And now what he said, that statement is very important. You can do a whole lot more with God. So maybe you can do this much by yourself, but the infinite is available if you do it with God.
Thank you so much, Dhyanaji. There are two more questions. The first one is how can I make sure that the inspiration is coming from the divine rather than my own ego?
That's a good question. When you start taking those steps along the way, after you feel, okay, this is what seems right, this is what I feel like Master wants me to do, you have to step out. Remember, Swamiji said that on the talk. You can't just wait for some, oh, it's coming from above. It's not coming. It's coming through you. You have to realize that. So if you, as you take steps, this feels right. This doesn't feel right. And you keep praying the whole time, Master, is this what you want? Is this right? And I know in playing music, I feel Master is helping me. How can I learn that many pieces in 6 months? I know he's helping me. And I bow to him and pray to him before and after I play music. So bring God into it and then just keep feeling it. Are you pleased with this? Is this what you want? I remember there's a Swamiji when he was working on the Gita here in India at Guru Kripa, and he said at a certain point, I'm not able to start working on this book. I don't have what I need. And you know, then the next day he said, I'm working on it now. Master's given it to me. And there was just a thrill. He said, Master is writing this through me. In 2 months, he wrote 600 pages. But we asked him because you could feel a vibration in that house, very strong, of Master. And one night I was walking out about midnight after reading the manuscript. And I mean, I just felt a deep, powerful energy in that room. So the next day I asked Swamiji, is Master here with you as you're right? He said, of course. So of course, if you put out the right energy, of course he'll help you. He'll be with you as much as you're able to open yourself.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. One last question. Would you have any specific techniques that can help in improving your initiative and creativity? And is there any difference between the two?
The first technique is say yes to life. That is the technique. Second is meditate. Third, tune in to God and gurus. Fourth, ask them. Say, I want to be a channel for you. I want to be a good teacher. Or I want to be a good yoga teacher. Or I want to be a good, whatever it is, computer operator. I want to serve. I want to do it. Not, oh God, another thing to do. Oh God, you know, I see people going through life like that. Nobody wants to be around you. But if you say, yes, I can, I will, something will come out of this, even if you don't know what's going to come out of it. I mean, Swamiji said there was miracle after miracle after miracle to make Ananda happen. And in Ananda, India's 20 years, one miracle after another. But we kept going. Many times you want to just throw in a towel, but kept going, get up, keep going. So I think that's another thing. Just keep going no matter what happens. And the difference between the two is one, you've got to think creatively. What can I do? You have to ask and get ideas and inspiration. Initiative, you actually have to work. Let's put it clearly. Nobody can do that work but you. But people do the creative part, but they're not grounded enough to manifest it. So don't just think high thoughts, Be practical in your idealism, Master said. Be practical. Write it down, organize it, figure it out, talk it out with people, then actually get to work. And do it until it's done. Banat banjai. You have to have that energy. And when you do, you see, wow, I'm actually getting a whole lot of help with this project. 75%, I think, comes from God, the Guru's Divine Mother. We just do our best, and then they push that project through. So I wish that all for all of you, that we have to really be magnetic and inspired and creative and use initiative, not just in our meditation, but in your whole life, not just in your spiritual life, in your whole life. Be dynamic. And then God can help you and Guruji can help you. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. And thank you, Natendra. Jai Guru. Bye-bye.